Hello and welcome to the International Strategic Planning Month for the year 2022. Today we are going to summarize the campaign of International Strategic Planning Month for the year 2022. The topic for the year 2022's International Strategic Planning Month was data visualization because we wanted to know more about the concept of data visualization. We wanted our audience, we wanted the larger audience to know much more about the concept of data visualization, for which we had invited several speakers from different occupations. Someone who was a data analyst, someone who was a business analyst, someone who was a sports analyst, who shared their experiences, who shared their expertise, who shared their knowledge with us and gave us the chance to learn much more about the concept of data visualization. So first of all, we are grateful and thankful for all the speakers to come and speak on this specific topic of data visualization. So what we are going to do today is that we are going to summarize the whole International Strategic Planning Month for this year. So we had three speaker sessions for this month. First of all, the first session that we had was with Mr. David Gladson. So, Mr. David Gladson mentioned about in the speaker session was how data visualization is really important to the world of data, and how data visualization is important to represent data much easier, with the help of these visuals that we get through this concept. So what he was trying to say was that analysts or people who are trying to do some kind of an analysis through the data available from different sources throughout the internet, was to get to a result and to represent that result derived from that specific data, or some kind of an analysis, to communicate the results in a much more better way, so that the larger audience and someone who is trying to learn a specific concept much easier. So what Mr. David Gladson was trying to convey with this was that data visualization makes it much more interesting and and it brings much more value to the concept of data analysis in general. So going forward, we also had a session with Mr. Neeraj Ingle, where he pushed forward this idea of Mr. David Gladson, where he mentioned how data analysis is equally important to the larger audience as well as the professionals who are involved in doing this kind of analysis of data, and in general other analysis. So what he was trying to say was that data analysis is required when we are doing some kind of a research, or we are trying to get to a result of a specific problem or a specific topic. So what he was trying to say that data visualization makes it much more interesting when we analyze the data, and we are able to represent that data to the larger audience. And also he specifically mentioned that data visualization helps the professionals involved in the data analysis to further move forward in the research if there is a research gap that is involved, or if there is a problem pending in that research. So what data visualization does is that it gives much more value. It solves your problem. It works as a corrector in some sorts, and also makes it more interesting to the larger audience. It helps professionals and professionals to communicate with the audience, the targeted audience, or the larger audience who is interested in understanding the results of a derived data analysis. So moving forward, we had the third speaker session with Mr. Vijay Krishna. He mentioned how overcoming the problems of pending research can be solved with the help of data visualization. That is also what Mr. Neeraj English said. He clearly mentioned his, about coming from his experience in the field, that data visualization makes the whole process of a research, the whole process of an analysis much more easier and effective when we are talking about getting to a specific result. And also he clearly mentioned about the fact that the sports industry is really coming up and is involved with a lot of data these days, because every sport involves numbers. So what data visualization helps in this specific arena is that it helps the people who are doing analysis on sports games, like for example cricket games or football games. It makes it much more easier for them to communicate these results or these derived analysis of a sport game to the larger audience, as I have mentioned before. So it makes the audience and the spectators also feel much more interested and much more attached to that specific sport. So all in all, what we tried to do through this campaign was to get people much more interested and people to know about the topic of data visualizations, which can help them in their future endeavors. So yeah, thank you so much for joining with us for this wonderful experience that we had throughout this month, and we will see you next year. Thank you.